All right. Peace, family. It's your brother Satep and Rob Mariaman. I got my brother Sutek on the panel. We doing a show today dealing with capitalism versus socialism, which is the best for the black community. I'm going to go into some working definitions on what each of these topics are. I'm going to give y'all some visuals. We're going to talk about countries that are socialists, countries that are capitalists. We're gonna break this down. We're gonna do a comparison versus socialism versus capitalism, and we just gonna have an open discussion. Maybe some of the brothers that come on the panel. If not, we just gonna keep it pushing. But for now, I'm gonna play this clip, and then we just gonna get right into the build.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
All right, we back, family. Go ahead, Sutek. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Share life, y'all need peace to the family. This your brother Sutek. We back at you again, man. We about to build on socialism versus capitalism. This is something that's not really in my forte, so I'll be learning right along with y'all today.
Right, and I definitely appreciate you being on here, Sutek, for the support. So let's get on into it. Let me see. I'm gonna start out by sharing my screen, and we're gonna just pull up some definitions first. We like to be precise over here. Okay, so y'all can share. Let me know if I'm sharing, Sutek.
Yep, good to go.
Okay, so socialism, a political, economic theory of social organization which advocates that means production, distribution, and exchange should be owned and regulated by the community as a whole. Okay, that's socialism. Now, am I still on? Okay, so I'm gonna have to. Let me see if I can go back, and then I'm gonna switch it to the other one. Let's see. All right, stop sharing, and then I'm gonna go back in, and then we're gonna go to capitalism next. Okay, so capitalism. Capitalism, an economic and political system in which countries trade in industry and controlled by private owners for profit rather than the state. Okay, an era of free market. So these are the two systems that I'm going to be discussing today. Which one is the best for our people, um, or for anybody, Because I don't believe one system is going to liberate us, but if we educate ourselves and we get some common understanding on what these systems are, I believe we would be able to be in a better place. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all some visuals. So I just gave y'all the definition right there, and now I'm gonna give y'all some visuals. That way, because I'm a visual learner as well, so I like to see things in motion at times. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple two videos, and they real short too. They only a couple minutes because you don't need that many minutes to explain and shit. And people like to drag stuff out, but we're not gonna do that today. We're gonna get it popping. So here we go right here. I'm gonna go to full screen mode. and we're gonna say what is capitalism or socialism. Can you hear it, Sutag?
Nah, I can't hear it.
Okay, yeah. Let me hold on. Let me pause it. I forgot. I forgot. My thing be acting stupid. My bad, family. Let me reshare this again. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. Now share audio. I forgot to click that. Now we get it popping. Let me start it over.
Socialism is on the rise. Not only are a growing number of young people sympathetic to the idea, but many politicians are actively pushing policies to advance it. But the question many Americans are asking is, what is socialism and how will it impact me? At the base level, socialism simply means strict government control over the economy. Think government-run healthcare, government-mandated wage requirements, and more restrictions and regulations on private businesses. Oh yeah, one more thing. All this government control also means a lot more taxes to pay for it. Although socialism and its programs are pursued in the name of promoting equality, the outcome is devastating for everyone it touches. Socialism's sky-high taxes, poor healthcare, choice restrictions, supply shortages, lackluster innovation, and more government rules will shackle individual freedom. Socialism dismantles the very mechanisms of our current free market system that promotes progress and economic advancement, competition, and individual freedom. Unfortunately, we are seeing this movie starring socialism play out in front of our eyes. Venezuela was once one of the most prosperous countries in South America, but years of socialism has left it a shadow of its former self. People are starving. Infrastructure is crumbling. Currency is collapsing and the rule of law is dissolving. In short, socialism takes. It takes entrepreneurial opportunities, takes better standards of living, takes upward mobility, takes innovation, and takes economic stability. On the flip side, free enterprise and capitalism does just the opposite. It creates.
Whoa! He moving too fast. He moving too fast. All right, now I'm gonna go to the next video, which is gonna, talk about capitalism, and yeah, we're gonna see what that system looks like. Uh, Make sure I hit that audio share. All right, where you at? There we go.
What is capitalism? It's all about supply and demand, freedom, choice, and incentive. So, supply and demand is how capitalism sets prices. If you are selling something, you can charge any price you like for it. But if you're buying something, you can pay what you like for it too. So, the actual price is what the seller and the buyer both agree on. What that normally means is that rare things are worth a lot of money. Lots of places sell apples. If someone tries to make me pay a fiver for an apple, I'll just go somewhere else. Apple computers, though, are expensive. I can't buy them cheaper, so it's a choice of paying what the seller wants or just not having one. The same is true of skills. If I can do something nobody else can, I can charge a lot for my time. If anyone can do my job, it's harder to get paid a lot. At the heart of capitalism, then, is freedom. Nobody can tell you what to do to earn money, nor how to spend it. It's entirely up to you. This creates a vast range of choice. You create your own path. By choosing education and training, you might be able to get a better paid job in the future. Or you can start work in whichever sector you want to. Fans of capitalism say it works because of incentives. You want more money, so you'll be more inventive, either to make something new and desirable, or to cut the costs on existing products, making them cheaper. So, both of these things are good for everybody else. You are rewarded with more profit, and both you and the consumer are better.
All right, so there y'all go. That is capitalism, and that's the current system that we are running today. So yeah, so y'all got a brief overview of that. Now we're gonna get into some more details. I just want to get some feedback from Sutek, because Sutek, you said you fresh to this, right?
Yeah. I'm fresh to this.
Okay. And I know you was on one of the shows that I was talking about, and I said, I'm gonna just go ahead and put it on out there, y'all. I'm a capitalist. I'm just gonna say it. I've always have been. Probably always will be until things change. So that's the economic/political system that I choose to gain capital in my life. So based off these two short little quick videos, Sutek, and I'm just gonna break it down. Socialism, strict government control; capitalism equals supply, demand, and freedom. What do you think about that?
As of right now, like I said, I'm kind of still undecided, but I'm leaning more towards capitalism. But I mean, if I can hear a good argument on socialism, then yeah, hey, you might change my mind.
Right? And I like that. That's what I like. And I'm not on here to sway anybody. I'm on here to just put the two sides together, and then we could weigh the shit up. So let's get into I'm gonna share my screen again, and let me delete some of these tabs because I had some of this stuff on here. So I'm gonna pull up my tab and I'm gonna show y'all the current socialist countries, the current countries that are operating under socialism. Let's see. Here. Got a lot of tabs open, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. You know what? I'll just go ahead and share my whole screen. That way I ain't gotta be looking for certain tabs. All right. So here we go right here. You can see that, right, Sutek?
Yep. Yeah, I see
All
it.
right. All right. So these are the current socialist states. You have People's Republic of China, and they started, being a socialist regime in 1949. Um, Communist Party, all that stuff. You got the Republic of Cuba, 59. You got Laos, and then you got Vietnam, and then I think on the other video he also said Venezuela as well. So people who want to practice socialism, these are countries that actually practice it, and these will give you a accurate representation of what that is, and what it looks like, So yeah, these are out of all the countries in the world, these are the only ones that practice this. I'm just gonna put that out there. So now let's move over to countries who practice capitalism. So and this is, you see the website up here. It says according to 2020 Economic Freedom of the World Index, the top 10 capitalist countries ranked from highest to lowest. The number one you would think be the U.S., but it's Hong Kong. Then you got Singapore. You got New Zealand, Switzerland, Australia, and then you got the U.S. I don't know where this country at. It's probably in Greece or some shit. You got Georgia, you got Canada, you got Ireland. Now, I'm going to just read this right here. It says, is America capitalist? The United States is referred to as a mixed market economy, which is very true. A lot of people think the U.S. is just a capitalist society, but it's actually a mixed market, meaning that has characteristics of capitalism and socialism. So you see, we live in a mixed society of both. The United States is a capitalist society where means where the production. Well, we already know what capitalism is. We just went over that, but I just wanted to highlight this part right here. This is very important. Now, I'm gonna go into this because this is a good website right here, and it goes into capitalism, socialism, mixed economy, Reaganomics, and all that stuff. We just gonna deal with these two here. So it says capitalistic ownership means the owner controls the factors of product derived from their income from their ownership. So whatever you make, It's yours. The government ain't controlling none of it. Now let me scroll down because I want to get into the pros and cons of capitalism. Because I'm not gonna get on here and big up capitalism just because that's what I practice. It is cons to this as well, and we're gonna go into that. We already know what the advantages are. Capitalism results in the best products for the best prices because consumers will pay more for what they want the most. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pay more if you want it. Businesses provide what customers want at the highest price they'll pay. And the prices are kept low by competition among businesses. So if I'm selling eggs and Sutex selling eggs and I sell mine for 50, I sell mine for $3 a dozen and Sutex sell his for $2.50 a dozen. Who you think everybody gonna go to, Sutex?
Whoever has the cheaper supply.
Exactly. All right. Now let's talk about some disadvantages. Capitalism doesn't provide for those who lack competitive skills, including the elderly, children, and developmentally disabled, and caretakers to keep society functioning. Capitalism requires government policies that value the family unit. And see, this ain't really a disadvantage. Because if you think about it, only people that's gonna lose is people who lack competitive skills. And we ain't talking about the elderly, because this is the part right here. If you elderly already, you should already have something set up to where you ain't hurting for money. That's why they got you got 401ks, you got IRAs, you got Roth accounts, you got a Roth IRA account, that you put money into and you save it, and people have pensions and all that. So and children don't work. So that's I'm a scratch that out of there. That's the only thing. Like, these disadvantages is not really a disadvantage. And then capitalism requires government policies that value the family unit. The U.S. government, I want to say, values the family unit. You know what I'm saying? Not like as a whole, like, but in a general sense. That's why they set up certain things. Like elderly homes. Stuff like that. So let's go down. Despite the idea of level playing field, capitalism does not promote equality of opportunity. Those without good nutrition, support, and education may never make it to the playing field. Society will never benefit them from their valuable skills. Now, this right here, I can agree with, because a lot of us, we're not educated. A lot of us don't have the education that a lot of the Europeans have. But it's nothing stopping us because the government values the family unit. So guess what? They give low income families something called a Pell Grant. Who offers this Pell Grant? The government. I actually had a Pell Grant when I went to school. So I am a recipient of this Pell Grant because I come from low income family. So not having education is not an excuse in my book. You know, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of successful people that come from backgrounds such as my own, such as a lot of us, that were able to get education. So the only thing in a capitalistic society is you have to have drive and you have to have will. Okay. So some of these disadvantages I don't look at as a disadvantage, but I'm gonna keep scrolling down because I'm biased when it comes to this. So, take that into consideration as well. All right, in the short term, inequality may seem to be the best interest of capitalism. Capitalism winners, and there is inequalities, and I'll state some. A lot of our people in the early 1900s and stuff like that, Black people specifically, we were victims of capitalism because there was a lot of things that we were not able to do. Like, we weren't able to buy property. They got redlining, and the redlining still exists. So I'm not on here saying I'm oblivious to all the things that capitalism, does and doesn't do for us. But there are ways around this, and all Black people ain't poor, all Black people ain't hurt. So, and yeah, so let's say the fewer the competitive threats, it may use the powers to rig the system, by creating barriers for entry. Now, I can agree with this as well. This is a disadvantage, right? Because let me read this again. They have fewer competitive threats and may use their power to rig the system by creating barriers to entry. Now, I'm gonna give y'all an example. If you want to start, a business selling beverages, say you want to sell an energy drink or something like that, you're going to get crushed by Pepsi or you're going to get crushed by Coca-Cola because they run the shit when it comes to that. Okay. So they either gonna get crushed or they're gonna buy you out. And I'm gonna give y'all an example of a buyout. Vitamin water. A company started, and I forget who started it, but the guy pitched the offer to a lot of athletes, and 50 Cent was the one who spearheaded it, and you grabbed it up. Coke ended up buying them out, and he got a lot of money. Or I don't know who bought him out. One of the big giants bought him out. So there is you can get crushed, but you can get bought out as well because they can be like, hey, we don't want you in this game, so we just go ahead and pay you. We're going to take your product. We're going to buy it off of you. We like the business. We like vitamin water. You're doing good. You got sales. You got proof of concept. So what we're going to do is we're just going to buy vitamin water and we're going to sell it under our umbrella and we're just going to cash you out. Any one of us in the chat on the panel will be happy with that. It's like, oh, wow, I just started an energy drink and I was gaining sales, and the big dog, Coke, came down and said, hey, you making too much noise over here. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna buy you out. We're gonna give you $100 million. All of us is gonna sell that shit. So don't act like you won't. So let me keep moving. Oh, they gave an example. For example, we ain't gonna go down there. All right, capitalism ignores external costs such as pollution and climate change. This makes goods cheaper and more accessible in short run, but over time it depletes natural resources, lowers the quality of life in affected areas, and increases costs for everyone. Now, this is a good disadvantage right here. This is a real good disadvantage because a lot of these big companies. I'll give y'all another example. It's a company called DuPont. I watched a movie called Water's Edge or something like that, and it was about this chemical company called DuPont. How they would they would leak chemicals into this city or wherever they had their company at. They would leak, the chemicals would leak, and it was affecting the people. And they had somebody go in there. They had a lawyer go in there. They had people run tests, and they knew what it was doing. And they were selling these Teflon pans, these non-stick Teflon pans. And if you cook with the pan, you was gonna get sick. You know what I'm saying? And they knew this and was still selling it. So there are companies out there, that use capitalism for their own gain and don't care about the people. All they want is increased costs for everyone. So that's some of the pros and that's some of the disadvantages to capitalism. Let me know when you want to get in, Sutek, if you want to ask any questions or something like that. All right. Let's go to socialism. Let's look up some of the pros and cons to socialism. All right. Pros of socialism. Under socialism, workers no longer have exploited because they own the means of production. Profits are spread equitably among all workers according to their individual contributions. But the cooperative system also provides those who can't work. It means their basic needs for the government or for good of the whole society. Now, this is a good thing. Like, this is a good thing, right? Because it's a good thing in a sense, and it's a bad thing in a sense. Because say if Sutek, I'm gonna go back to the carton of eggs example. Say if Sutek, say Sutek, you got chickens, I got chickens, but I got 5 chickens and you got 10 chickens. You're gonna produce more eggs than I produce just based off that number. But if we in a socialism society, it don't matter if your chickens produce 100 cartons of eggs and mine's produce 50 cartons of eggs. We both gonna get the same amount of money at the end of the day. Point blank, period. It don't matter how hard. You could work way harder than me, Sutek. You could go out there and you could feed them chickens every day and all this, and I could sit back on my butt and say, man, fuck them chickens. I only got 5 X, Y, Z. I'm still gonna get paid with Sutek getting paid, so it don't matter. That's one of the cons to me of socialism that, if I'm working hard, I want to be compensated for how hard I'm working, and it's just me. So let's keep going. The system eliminates poverty. It provides equal access to health care and education. No one is discriminated against. And see, this is another good thing right here. It's another good thing. Everyone works at what one is best at and what one enjoys. If society needs jobs to be done that no one wants, it offers higher compensation to make it worthwhile to people to take those. See, I didn't know that right there. So that's something new right there. Now let's get into some of the cons. And I already gave y'all one. The biggest disadvantage is that it relies on cooperative nature of humans to work. It ignores those within society who are competitive and focused on personal gain. Those people tend to seek ways to overthrow and disrupt society for their own benefit. Capitalism hardness. This greed is good drive. Socialism pretends it doesn't exist. As a result, socialism doesn't reward people for being entrepreneurial. It struggles to be an innovative and capitalism society. A third disadvantage is the government has a lot of power. This works as long as it represents the wishes of the people. But government leaders can abuse this position and claim powers for themselves. And see, this is the biggest disadvantage. Outside of the one where I said if I work hard, I need to get compensated. This is the biggest one. All of us, well, I ain't gonna say all of us. Let me stop. A lot of us are anti-government. We are. A lot of people, especially the anti-vaccine people, they anti-government. They're like, nope, we ain't going for it. So if you live in a socialism society, the government controls everything. Everything. You can be good at shooting basketball, but if they want you in the field being a farmer, that's where you're gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's some of the pros and cons of capitalism and socialism, and I want to open it up to see. Let's see if we got. Okay, let's see. We got any questions? If y'all got any questions, shout out brother Zane. Shout out Kisu. Let's see, brother Robert Rand, Ashuna or Anshu. Um, we got Chavis in the building. We got Tika. We got Sutek's mom in here. Shout out Mama Sutek, showing the love. We got African Sun. I appreciate y'all for coming on this panel or coming on the show and checking out what we got going on. So if y'all got any questions, let me know. I'm gonna go over. What you think so far, Sutek?
Yeah, man. So the major issue with me, at least with socialism, is like like you said, it doesn't pay to be competitive. Like no matter how hard you work, you're still gonna be on the same level as everybody else. Like that's my biggest issue with socialism. But like I said, man, other people may have ways around it, or like it may be somewhere in the middle. People can meet up because it ain't necessarily got to be an A or B.
And see, that's the thing, Sutek. When it comes to socialism, from my perspective, is that's the main thing of socialism is like it don't like not saying it don't matter how hard you work, but everybody needs to be on the same level. That's what socialism is to me. And I don't agree with that based off, I'm a hard worker. Like I work 7 days a week. I might take Sunday off if it's football popping. I ain't gonna lie. But for the most part, I'm always working and I'm always reading and trying to better myself. So, I need to be compensated for how hard I'm working. Now I'm gonna go to this video talking about socialism versus capitalism. It's about 6 minutes long. He kind of get in here, he give you an explanation and breaks it down. So we're gonna go to that, and y'all bear with us. This is a good video too, because it gives you side by side comparisons of what's going on. So let's get this popping. All right.
Might have to turn it up, Step.
Oh man, hold on. I forgot to press that button again. You couldn't hear it?
Nah, I ain't here. I thought maybe it was on my end for a minute.
Nah. I keep forgetting to press that button. My bad, y'all. I don't know why I got this new computer, and then every time I gotta press that button. And I want to let y'all know too. This, hold on. Matter of fact, that's the wrong damn video. So that's a good thing y'all couldn't hear that. Here it go right here. Now let me make sure this is the right video. Y'all bear with me because I was putting this together fast and I wanted to show y'all a video of capitalism versus socialism side by side. So let me see. And this video a little bit longer, but he gets into it, so we just gonna go ahead and play it. So let me go back to screen share. Yeah, I had typed in the wrong dang on video. Let's see. I like this guy too because he breaks shit down, man. Yeah, I like this video. Go back to it. All right, here we go.
And do not go to Alaska with a girl you've known for 10 days. Okay, let's talk capitalism. So capitalism is an economic system, but it's also a cultural system. It's characterized by innovation and investment to increase wealth. But today we're going to focus on production and how industrial capitalism changed it. Stan, I can't wear these emblems of the bourgeoisie while Karl Marx himself is looking at me. It's ridiculous. I'm changing. Very hard to take off a shirt dramatically. So let's say it's 1200 CE and you're a rug merchant. Just like merchants today, you sometimes need to borrow money in order to buy the rugs you want to resell at a profit, and then you pay that money back, often with interest, once you've resold the rugs. This is called mercantile capitalism, and it was a global phenomenon, from the Chinese to the Indian Ocean Trade Network to Muslim merchants who would sponsor trade caravans across the Sahara. But by the 17th century, merchants in the Netherlands and in Britain had expanded upon this idea to create joint stock companies. Those companies could finance bigger trade missions and also spread the risk of international trade. But the thing about international trade is sometimes boats sink or they get taken by pirates. And while that's bad if you're a sailor because, you lose your life, it's really bad if you're a mercantile capitalist because you lost all your money. But if you own 1/10 of 10 boats, your risk is much better managed. That kind of investment definitely increased wealth, but it only affected a sliver of the population, and it didn't create a culture of capitalism. Industrial capitalism was something altogether different, both in scale and in practice. Let's use Joyce Appleby's definition of industrial capitalism: an economic system that relies on investment of capital in machines and technology that are used to increase production of marketable goods. So imagine that someone made a Stan machine. By the way, Stan, this is a remarkable likeness. And that Stan machine could produce and direct 10 times more episodes of Crash Course than a human Stan. Well, of course, even if there are significant upfront costs, I'm going to invest in a Stan machine so I can start cranking out 10 times the knowledge. Stan, are you focusing on the robot instead of me? I am the star of the show! Stan, but you're going behind the globe. So when most of us think about capitalism, especially when we think about its downsides, long hours, low wages, miserable working conditions, child labor, unemployed Stans, that's what we're thinking about. Now, admittedly, this is just one definition of industrial capitalism among many, but it's the definition we're going with. All right, let's go to the thought bubble. Industrial capitalism developed first in Britain in the 19th century. Britain had a bunch of advantages. It was the dominant power on the seas, and it was making good money off of trade with its colonies, including the slave trade. Also, the growth of capitalism was helped by the half-century of civil unrest that resulted from the 17th century English Civil War. Now, I'm not advocating for civil wars or anything, but in this particular case, it was useful because before the war, the British Crown had put a lot of regulations on the economy, complicated licenses, royal monopolies, etc. But during the turmoil, it couldn't enforce them, which made for freer markets. Another factor was a remarkable increase in agricultural productivity in the 16th century. As food prices started to rise, it became profitable for farmers, both large and small, to invest in agricultural technologies that would improve crop yields. Those higher prices for grain probably resulted from population growth, which in turn was encouraged by increased production of food crops. A number of these agricultural improvements came from the Dutch, who had chronic problems feeding themselves and discovered that planting different kinds of crops, like clover that added nitrogen to the soil and could be used to feed livestock at the same time, meant that more fields could be used at once. This increased productivity eventually brought down prices, and this encouraged further innovation in order to increase yield to make up for the drop in prices. Lower food prices had an added benefit. Since food cost less and wages in England remained high, workers would have more disposable income, which meant that if there were consumer goods available, they would be consumed, which incentivized people to make consumer goods more efficiently and therefore more cheaply. You can see how this positive feedback loop leads to more food and more stuff, culminating in a world where people have so much stuff that we must rent space to store it, and so much food that obesity has become a bigger killer than starvation. Thanks, Thought Bubble. So this increased productivity also meant that fewer people needed to work in agriculture in order to feed the population. To put this in perspective, in 1520, 80% of the English population worked the land. By 1800, only 36% of adult male laborers were working in agriculture, and by 1850, that percentage had dropped to 25. This meant that when the factories started humming, there were plenty of workers to hum along with them, especially child laborers. So far, all this sounds pretty good, right? I mean, except for the child labor. Who wouldn't want more, cheaper food? Yeah, well, not so fast. One of the ways the British achieved all this agricultural productivity was through the process of enclosure, whereby landlords would reclaim and privatize fields that for centuries had been held in common by multiple tenants. This increased agricultural productivity, but it also impoverished many tenant farmers, many of whom lost their livelihoods. Okay, for our purposes, capitalism is also a cultural system rooted in the need of private investors to turn a profit. So the real change needed here was a change of mind. People had to develop the capitalist values of taking risks and appreciating innovation. And they had to come to believe that making an upfront investment in something like a stand machine could pay for itself and then some. One of the reasons that these values developed in Britain was that the people who initially held them were really good at publicizing them. Writers like Thomas Munn, who worked for the English East India Company, exposed people to the idea that the economy was controlled by markets, and other writers popularized the idea that it was human nature for individuals to participate in markets as rational actors. Even our language changed. The word individuals did not apply to persons until the 17th century. And in the 18th century, a career still referred only to horses' racing lives. Perhaps the most important idea that was popularized in England was that men and women were consumers as well as producers, and that this was actually a good thing because the desire to consume manufactured goods could spur economic growth. The main spur to trade, or rather to industry and ingenuity, is the exorbitant appetite of men, which they will take pain to gratify. So wrote John Kerry, one of capitalism's cheerleaders in 1695, and in talking about our appetites, he wasn't just talking about food. That doesn't seem radical now, but it sure did back then. So here in the 21st century, it's clear that industrial capitalism, at least for now, has won. Sorry, buddy, but you know, you gave it a good run. You didn't know about Stalin. But capitalism isn't without its problems or its critics, and there were certainly lots of shortcomings to industrial capitalism in the 19th century. Working conditions were awful, days were long, arduous, and monotonous. Workers lived in conditions that people living in the developed world today would associate with abject poverty. One way that workers responded to these conditions was by organizing into labor unions. Another response was in many cases purely theoretical. Socialism, most famously Marxian socialism. I should probably point out here that socialism is an imperfect opposite to capitalism, even though the two are often juxtaposed. Capitalism's defenders like to point out that it's natural, meaning that if left to our own devices, humans would construct economic relationships that resemble capitalism. Socialism, at least in its modern incarnations, makes fewer pretenses toward being an expression of human nature. It's the result of human choice and human planning. So socialism as an intellectual construct began in France. How'd I do, Stan? The border between Egypt and Libya. There were two branches of socialism in France, utopian and revolutionary. Utopian socialism is often associated with Comte de Saint-Simon and Charles Fourier, both of whom rejected revolutionary action after having seen the disaster of the French Revolution. Both were critical of capitalism, and while Fourier is usually a punchline in history classes because he believed that in his ideal socialist world the seas would turn to lemonade, he was right that human beings have desires that go beyond basic self-interest and that we aren't always economically rational actors. The other French socialists were the the revolutionaries, and they saw the French Revolution, even its violence, in a much more positive light. The most important of these revolutionaries was Auguste Blanqui, and we associate a lot of his ideas with communism, which is a term that he used. Like the utopians, he criticized capitalism, but he believed that it could only be overthrown through violent revolution by the working classes. However, while Blanqui thought that the workers would come to dominate a communist world, he was an elitist, and he believed that workers could never on their own overcome their superstitions and their prejudices in order to throw off bourgeois oppression. And that brings us to Karl Marx, whose ideas and beard cast a shadow over most of the 20th century. Oh, it's time for the open letter? An open letter to Karl Marx's beard. But first, let's see what's in the secret compartment today. Oh, robots? Stanbots? 2 Stanbots, one of them female. Now I own all the means of production. You're officially useless to me, Stan. Now turn the camera off. I'm gonna have to get up and turn the camera off. Stanbot, go turn the camera off. Hey there, Karl Marx's beard. Wow, you are intense. Karl Marx, these days there are a lot of young men who think beards are cool. Beard lovers, if you will. Those aren't beards, they're glorified milk mustaches. I mean, I haven't shaved for a couple weeks, Karl Marx, but I'm not claiming a beard. You don't get a beard by being lazy, you get a beard by being a committed revolutionary. Dong, Pol Pot, Kim Jong-il, Joseph freaking Stalin with his face caterpillar. So yeah, Karl Marx's beard, it's my great regret to inform you that there are some paltry beards trying to take up the class struggle these days. Best wishes, John Green. Although he's often considered the father of communism because he co-wrote the Communist Manifesto, Marx was above all a philosopher and a historian. It's just that unlike most philosophers and historians, he advocated for revolution. His greatest work, Das Kapital, sets out to explain the world of the 19th century in historical and philosophical terms. Marx's thinking is deep and dense, and we're low on time, but I want to introduce one of his ideas, that of class struggle. So for Marx, the focus isn't on the class, it's on the struggle. Basically, Marx believed that classes don't only struggle to make history, but that the struggle is what makes classes into themselves. The idea is that through conflict, classes develop a sense of themselves, and without conflict, there is no such thing as class consciousness. So Marx was writing in 19th century England, and there were 2 classes that mattered, the workers and the capitalists. The capitalists owned most of the factors of production, in this case, land and the capital to invest in factories. The workers just had their labor. So the class struggle here is between capitalists who want labor at the lowest possible price and the workers who want to be paid as much as possible for their work. There are 2 key ideas that underlie this theory of class struggle. First, Marx believed that production, or work, was the thing that gave life material meaning. Second is that we are by nature social animals. We work together, we collaborate, we are more efficient when we share resources. Marx's criticism of capitalism is that capitalism replaces this egalitarian collaboration with conflict. And that means that it isn't a natural system after all. And by arguing that capitalism actually isn't consistent with human nature, Marx sought to empower the workers. That's a lot more attractive than Blanqui's elitist socialism, and while purportedly Marxist states like the USSR usually abandon worker empowerment pretty quickly, the idea of protecting our collective interest remains powerful. That's where we'll leave it for now, lest I start reading from the Communist Manifesto. But ultimately, socialism has not succeeded in supplanting capitalism as its proponents had hoped. In the United States, at least, socialism has become something of a dirty word. So industrial capitalism certainly seems to have won out. And in terms of material well-being and access to goods and services for people around the world, that's probably a good thing. Oh, you keep falling over. You're a great bit, but a very flimsy one. Actually, come to think of it, you're more of a
All right, that's enough of him, man. He broke it down good, but you know, white folks, they like to get silly and shit. He talking about the man's beard the whole time. So let me circle back to what he said though, because I found that very informative when he talks about socialism and the struggle. And I believe, like a lot of our people, we identify with socialism because we are the workers. We are the people that he was just discussing. So we want to see everything on an even playing field. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I think. Because if black people, if we were the people on the top, I guarantee we wouldn't be on no socialism shit. I'm just saying, like, you know, and history shows, man, to where it's like he just said, like socialism just came around because those people over there, man, they was living in rough conditions, right? So we living in rough conditions over here, or we were, or some of us are, some of us may not be anymore. But I just kind of feel like that's the reason why a lot of us we gravitate towards socialism, is because our conditions over here and how we live it. But I particularly I don't gravitate towards it because I believe all of us we can get ourselves out of the situations if we really want to. You know, it's a lot of opportunity over here. It's a lot of people from other countries coming over here because we are the land of opportunity when it comes to economics over here. So, what you think about that, Sutek?
Man, I agree. I agree. I mean, if I was in a position of wealth, uh, I know damn well I won't be following no socialism or not trying to. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm curious to see what people in the chat feel about it, what they got to say.
Yeah, and yeah, if y'all got any questions, man, put them in there. We throw them up here and we answer them the best we can. Now, I want to go back to capitalism because he said something that was very important, you know, and I equate socialism with the struggle, and I equate capitalism with risk and innovation because in capitalism, you have to take risk. Okay, you have to. You got to take a risk. You got to say, "I'm going to empty out my pension. I'm going to empty out my 401k. I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna buy my own chickens and I'm gonna sell my own eggs and I'm gonna sell them for this amount of dollars." That's risk. That's me taking a risk, saying I'm taking all my money and I'm putting it in this business that I believe in and I know it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And if it works, I win. If it don't, you know, I gotta scrap it and go back to the drawing board. And being innovative. Like we are innovative people by nature. Now I'm not saying we capitalists by nature, but we are innovative by nature. We create stuff. That's what we do, man. We've been doing it forever. So yeah, man. That's why I said I agree with the capitalist view because I've always took risk, you know, without, you know, we always say the shit, without risk, there's no reward. We always say that. And I think a lot of people are capitalists. They just don't know they are until we have a show like this and kind of put the two against each other. And then people like, man, yeah, if I'm on top, I don't want to even, I don't, well, not an even playing field, but say if the brother Zane, you know, he create a computer chip, you know what I'm saying? That's the fastest processor out, you know. Brother Zane is gonna be up in a capitalistic society because he's the one that created it. He's the one that, you know, took the risk of, you know, not not wanting to work for somebody else and work for himself. He took that risk and said, I'm not gonna work for somebody else. I'm gonna work for myself. I'm gonna build this computer chip and I'm gonna put it on the market, and then I'm gonna reap the benefits of it. Whereas in the social society, Brother Zane don't got that opportunity. He just don't. Like, I mean, I'm surprised the guy Jack Ma. Y'all familiar with Jack Ma? You familiar with him, Sutek? So
No, I
he's an
never heard of
Asian. Yeah, so it's an Asian guy. So are you familiar with Alibaba? Have you heard of that?
who you talk. Hell, you know the only one I heard of.
Oh, okay. No, so Alibaba is like China's Amazon, right? It's like the Amazon of China. And you know, this guy he created that shit, but he's in a socialist society, China. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was shocked. But I mean, you can come out of a socialist society, but he had to go through the government for that, though. You know what I'm saying? He has to go through the government to be innovative over there. I watched his story and I was surprised by it. I watched it a couple of days ago, and I was like, yeah, man, that's pretty interesting. You know, he come from a little place in China and was able to, you know, come out of that like that. But yeah, okay. So I don't think he got kidnapped though. But he may have though, see? And that's the thing. That's the thing, in Zinga. In a social society, if he ain't paying off that government, if the government ain't got control of Alibaba and his business, and he making too much damn money over there, guess what? The government control that. we could kidnap your ass. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. The U.S. can't do nothing about that. He's not a U.S. citizen. So that's some of the perks of living over here in this free market society in the U.S., man. That a lot of people we take for granted. So y'all go ahead and be socialists if y'all want to. You got anything on it, Sutek? Because we could leave this at a little hour-long show if ain't nobody got nothing. I just wanted to get on here and weigh the odds.
Nah, I ain't got nothing, man. This is a good bill, though. Rasta man said China is communist, which is not pure socialism.
Yeah, but communists and socialism are, they basically they parallel. I'm not gonna say they're the same thing, but they parallel. You can't agree to that, Rasta man. They are parallel. So, and I will say this: communism and socialism is not capitalism. I can tell you that. The government run both of those societies, socialism and communism. That's all I'm talking about when it comes to socialism is, strict government control. Strict government control. That's what that boils down to me. So, and a lot of us, like I said earlier, we don't want the government controlling our stuff. If Brother Zane create this computer chip, that's Brother Zane computer chip. That ain't the U.S. government's computer chip. That's his shit. So, just think about that, y'all, when y'all making these decisions and y'all saying, "Oh, U.S. is so horrible," and this capitalist society ain't benefiting me. It's just because you ain't been innovative. You ain't took no risk. Because I guarantee if you take some risks, you will be rewarded. I mean, you may lose, you may well be rewarded, but without risk, there's no reward. And if people ain't innovative, if you don't have any skills, you know what I'm saying? If you don't got any skills, it's gonna be tough for you in a capitalist society. If you ain't got no education, it's gonna be tough for you in a capitalist society. But you don't gotta have all these to be successful. You just need one. You just need one. Okay, let's see. And I appreciate this feedback. What you got, Rasta man? Let's see. Yeah, but communism and authoritarian, while socialism is controlled by the people. See, you must have not been on here when we started this, because I just gave the let me go ahead and pull up socialism definition again, because the definition of socialism was strict government control, and I played a video. I gave working definitions, and then I played a video to support that. So I will put the definition of socialism back up here, and I just typed it in on Google, and I just pulled up the first thing that popped up, which dictionary on here. Let's see. I'll show y'all this. And we'll go over this definition again. Okay. So it says a political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by a community as a whole. Hold on. Now, where that said it go? Oh, okay. I know it said something about the government. What was that? The video, Sute?
What happened?
What was that? The video where they said in socialism it was strict government control?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, because I was
Or
about to say,
it might have been that first slide that you brought up.
let me see. Yeah, it was like a 2 minute, video. And then I also, pulled up a list of social countries that practice socialism. And there was only a couple of them on there. It was China, Cuba, Laos, Vietnam, and Venezuela. And it wasn't looking too good for them countries, man. It wasn't looking too good for them. And that's what I wanted to bring out too. Like people that are for socialism and for that type of thing, look to countries that practice this and see see how their country is doing. Are these are these world nations? Are these third world countries? Like, are these countries successful? What's their GPD? You know, or GDP? Sorry, what's their GDP? Are they a leader in the world when it comes to things like that? I just want to bring that up. Let's see. Do we got anything else on here? Because I see y'all dropping some questions now, and loving the feedback. We got brother Chavis. It says, "What about communalism?" I didn't really look into communalism because I don't really know too much about that. But I don't know any countries that practice it either. I mean, I'm not saying that they do. Let's see. Okay, so that's derived from Karl Marx as well. So Karl Marx is behind that as well. Let's see. Oh no, that's communism. Motherfucker typed in what it wanted to. All right, there we go. All right, let's pull this up, y'all. See what they talking about communalism. All right, a principle of political organization based on, or what's that? Based on federate communes. Okay, allegiance to one's own ethnic group rather than a wider society. Yeah, man. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, ain't nothing wrong with this. That's what we do. Like we practice this all right. Well, we should be. That's what we say when we say, shop with black owned businesses. We trying to promote this. So yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm with this. For sure. Thanks for bringing that out, brother Chavis. All right, next question. Says, I was wondering what was the crime and justice aspect of socialism. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm just dealing with the economic side of it, brother Zane. I'm just dealing with, what's the good way for our people to get paid? What system, which system can we benefit from? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we're innovative people. It's too many talented people for everybody to be on the same level. Somebody got to be up. Peace to the family. Confidence chorizo. All right. Neither black people have their own systems that won't fly. Yeah, we ain't got our own systems. Oh, he's saying black people have their own system. Okay, so what systems? What systems? So he's saying, I like that. He's saying capitalism won't work or socialism won't work. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Peace. Okay, Kofi wife on here. Shout out Kofi's wife. I don't know how to say that. Miko. I'm still recovering from the BS Stereo said yesterday. I don't know what he talking about. All right, let's see what we got here. Roster man back at us. The best system is probably combined of the two because either pure capitalism or pure socialism is not a good idea. So, Roster man, if you would have joined in the beginning of the show, bruh, listen, I gave an example that said, no, I showed on here to where it says, we currently live in a capitalist / social society. We do. The system that you're talking about is the system that we're currently in. The US is not a pure capitalistic society. It's not at all. And I gave examples. So yeah, we live in that society that you're talking about right now. We just don't know about it because people, like, when it comes to talking about economics and stuff, I'm noticing that, a lot of our people, all we know is one thing. We don't know all these other systems. And then some of these other systems we think we know because it sounds good, but then once you get to looking at it and somebody break it down, you like, damn, oh, you know what? I don't agree with that. I want to get compensated. That's why I gave the example to Sutek. I'm like, Sutek, if we live in a socialism society, and we both are farmers, and you got 10 chickens and I got 5 chickens, your chickens by default and they all females, your chickens is gonna produce more eggs than mine's are. But we both gonna get paid the same amount, whether your chickens produce 20 cartons of eggs and mine's produce 100 cartons of eggs per week. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, and Sutek said, shit, if I got 10 chickens, I need to get paid for them 200 cartons of eggs. Don't pay me what Sutek getting paid. Am I right, Sutek?
And I need all mine. I need all my shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. People want to be compensated for. We know our value, man. We want to be compensated for it. You know what I'm saying? I know I do. I want to be compensated for my work. I'm not trying to get paid with the next man getting paid. If I'm over here going hard, I'm working 60 hours a week. This guy only doing 20 hours a week, and he getting the same pay I'm getting. Like, that just don't work. African Sun, he says corny capitalism. I don't know what that means. Rasta Man said, I get it. It's probably what the U.S. was meant to, but it's not what it is right now. Like African Sun says, corny capitalism. Well, see, when it comes to that, y'all, like I know we've been victims, and this is what I got on here for. I know we've been victims of capitalism. We have. We was actually crony. My bad, crony. Okay, my bad. I read that wrong. Yeah, we've been victims of it, you know what I'm saying, for the longest, but man, listen, y'all. We need to stop playing that victim role, man. I'm like, okay, if we get reparations, we get them, but I'm not advocating for that shit. Niggas been advocating for that shit forever. I don't want nobody to give me shit. I'm gonna go out and get mine, okay? I always been like that. Like, I'm not looking for nobody to hand me shit, dog. I know how to get money. Like, that's just what I know how to do. Like, and we all can do it. We all can invest. I was just watching the video. I should play that shit. How many you ever seen a show called Shark Tank?
Yeah, yeah.
So out of all the people on there, which one you would say you like the best?
Which one? I'll say Mark Cuban.
Okay, yeah, I like Mark Cuban. I like Mark Cuban too. Yeah, I like him. He probably be my best too. Which one on there do you dislike?
Um, man, it's been so long. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the other people. Name the other ones.
So you got and y'all can put it in the chat too. I want to see what y'all say. Who on Shark Tank who y'all dislike? So you got Mark Cuban. You have the what's the black guy's name? Fubu created Fubu,
Hmm.
and then you got the one white boy. Then you got Lori, the QVC, and then you have who I like, Kevin O'Leary. They call him Mr. Wonderful. Like, so I like reason why I like Kevin O'Leary is because he not gonna put his money where he don't think he gonna get a return on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not about to just invest in the shit because it's a good story. And a lot of them guys on there, they are investing in a good story. He's practical. Like, that's what I like. I like that he's practical. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to figure out, like, how did he gain his wealth? You know, how did he come? But see, he is not the capitalist who I would like to be. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see his move because he's a venture. What do you call himself? A shrewd venture debt capitalist. And when you're dealing with capitalism, y'all, it's all different types and forms of it. You know, you can be it's different forms of capitalism within capitalism that you can be. So I just like his method. I like his approach. I like his business model. And he's shrewd. I'm shrewd to a sense, But like, I'm not gonna fuck my people over. I don't know if he fucked people over or not, but that's just what he said. And he come off a little rough, but you know, I like his business. I like his business sense. Um, let's see. Producers and technicians don't want to take care of non-producers. Exactly. Damon John never invest in anything, don't he? Bro, he don't never be grabbing shit. Hey, I fuck with African Sun. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Kisu says African Kobe Price TV. That's number one. I meant to say that's okay. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, man. It's no reason why we cannot benefit in this free market society in the U.S. Y'all. That's what I'm saying. And if people who want to practice socialism, I advise them to study countries that practice socialism and see how it turned out. You know what I'm saying? Don't say you agree with socialism based off a definition. I need y'all to do deep research on this. You know what I'm saying? Study socialism, study how it started, study countries that practice it, and see where they are in the world, man. See where they are on the global scale. Because when I showed the list of capitalist countries from the top to the bottom, y'all won't believe it, but U.S. was number 6. We ain't even the most capitalist society as we would like to think. So we just have to educate ourselves on these terms and what we believe in, because it's some of the brothers in the group that's, you know, they like, damn, Satep, I ain't even never think of it that way. Even Sutek just now, he like, shit, I need all mines. I need all mines. But you sign up for socialism based off a definition, and then you get into the shit, and then you get to working, and then you making what the doctor, like if a doctor should be paid, we all can agree. If you go get brain surgery, if you go get any type of surgery, you gonna want the top doctor, man. And I'm just saying, man, like you want a doctor working, pulling your teeth out. I just got my teeth pulled out. That's why I said that. But you want a doctor pulling your teeth out that make the same as the nigga that work at the Kroger. I'm just saying. He ain't
Nah, that
that.
don't even make sense.
It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. And that's just a I don't think a doctor would make what a person that make at Kroger make, but I'm just giving y'all an example, man. Like maybe he make what somebody, you know, not that little bit of money, but he ain't gonna be making what he should be making based off his skill set. Because that's what he does, that's what he do. So he need to get, I'll say, my lagging. Okay, yeah. What you say, Chad? He said I feel Satet, but I'm not turning down no free bands. Yeah, we ain't turning down no free bands, dog. We ain't turning down no free bands. But yeah, man, I just want y'all to. I appreciate y'all for getting on here, chopping it up with me. This may be something. You know, I may get into educating the people a little bit more when it comes to economics, because this is something I've been talking about for a while, and I've actually started practicing a little bit more. I studied this shit for a while, y'all. This ain't some shit I just came up with overnight. The brothers will tell you I've been talking about economics for a long time. You know, I just ain't applied myself, but it's 2020. I'm applying myself because my whole goal is if they can do it, we can fucking do it. We are in the United States of America. It's a free, open market over here. If Brother Chavis is good at doing something, Brother Chavis need to be compensated for that. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, whatever it is he good at. He don't need to be making what I'm making over here and doing nothing. He need to be compensated for that. And if the European can take risks, we can take risks. And I'm not gonna say they're innovative because we innovative. So we need to be more innovative. We need to take more risks to get rewards. You know what I'm saying? All this money all these. Let's see. Hold on. Before I'm gonna get up. Let me get off my soapbox. Let's see what African Sun says. Medicine is the main thing getting socialized. The cost of cash care will Bankroll, the best. I don't know what that means, brother. You might have to elaborate on that a little bit. And you know what? You think I should get a link out, Sutek?
Yeah, get a link out. And come
Uh,
on in if you want to. That'll pick up the conversation a lot more if anybody got questions or comments or
all right, this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. If anybody want to get on here and chop it up, I'm gonna stay on here 20 more minutes. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, and if y'all want to get on here, you can get on here, African Sun, Chavis, whoever. You know, we on here talking about money. You know, this ain't no right or wrong answers. This is what's the best way to advance the black community. We talking about us, y'all. We not talking about nobody else. And the link on there, if y'all want to get on here and chop it up, I'll let y'all on here. Cause you know, this we can talk about history all day. We can talk about history all day. But I want to start talking about stuff that we can apply and stuff that's going on right now in real time. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in real time? Economics. That's what's going on in real time. That's the world stage. That's the shit that's being talked about on the world stage. So while we sit on here and talk about is this person a Hebrew, is this person a Kemetic, and this, motherfuckers out here getting rich, dog. From the shit we do when we get off of here and stop talking about this shit. Y'all go to Kroger, y'all go to Walmart, y'all got iPhones, everybody got Samsung, Sony, TV, all that. We got all these products, but we not benefiting off of them. We getting the shit just to show. And then we got, and I was telling Sutek, I'm like, we got money sitting in the bank, you know, in the savings account, ain't doing shit. It's just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? It's just sitting there, not doing nothing. You get a little dividend every month, couple cent. But what if you invested that shit into the brands that you use every day? Every day. And the more you spend with these people, the more they get rich. But you know that we need to change this, y'all. We need to change it, man. And it can be done. It's not nothing that's gonna happen overnight. But I guarantee if we stop letting our black dollar circulate and we let that shit, if we invest it, we take some risk, we invest it, you know, we gonna see something, man. We gonna see something. Uh, peace,
Peace.
Africa. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what's happening, man? I appreciate it. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all conversation. And I just want to say peace to everybody, man. You know what I mean?
Peace,
And
bro.
I definitely feel, you know what I'm saying, the direction y'all going in. And, you know, I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you know what, brother? We appreciate you for taking the time out your day to stop through and show us some love and even come on here and watch and see what the hell we on here babbling about.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, I'm down to participate in any intelligent conversation between some, you know, positive brothers and all that.
Yeah, so I want you to and like I said, man, I always tell the brothers in the back chat, man. My name's Satep Rock. I'm not on here to beat nobody up. I'm not on here for no right, no wrong answers. I'm on here to build. That's it. I'm not one of these brothers that get on here and be like, "Oh, you right, I'm wrong." No. So
Right.
I want you to elaborate and expound on some of the comments that you were saying. And
Okay.
there was some of them I was like, I don't know what he's talking about right here. So and shout out, brother Chavis. We're gonna get you in next. Let's let African Sun expound, and then we're gonna go to you, Chavis.
All I was remarking, well, the last thing I was talking about with the medicine, that's the first thing that we were socializing in this country. You know, there was a big pushback against that during the Obama administration, about because basically the Affordable Health Care Act or Obamacare, whatever you want to call that situation, is in fact socialized medicine, right? Because you and I and most people, I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm going too far with this comment, but most people cannot afford cash medical care. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had an emergency tomorrow and you walked into an emergency room and you had to pay the bill cash, You know what I mean? Most people can't do that.
Hell no. Hell no.
So
You
that was
right.
the first thing. It was actually socialized. We really do have socialized healthcare. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been easing us towards it because we can't afford the cash price. We can't pay what a doctor wants for his work. The average person can't afford it today. And it don't matter what field of, you know what I'm saying? Dentistry is crazy too. You got
Hell
to
yeah,
have some
man.
help going to the dentist.
Man, listen. I just got 4 wisdom teeth pulled out. I got insurance. And guess how much
Right.
that shit guess how much
But you
that shit
see the
still
bill,
costs?
you seen the bill of what it costs though. The whole see, you might have paid what you paid with your insurance, but you saw the bill with what it costs. And what was it?
Hey, look, this is what I'm about to say, African son. Look, that shit cost me out of pocket. What was it? $780 out of pocket. I cringed at that.
$1,000, almost $1,000.
Man, I'm like, damn, how much the shit cost if I didn't have insurance? So
Well,
yeah, man, I agree
you
with
see
what
the
you're
bill.
saying,
Sometimes
man.
they see the bill, the full bill that they sent the insurance company.
Yeah, they ain't show me that shit. I probably would have cried if I'd have seen the full bill.
Mm-hmm. It should be high, man. And that's, you know what I'm saying? The insurance company paid part of it.
Uh-oh.
You paid $1,000. You feel me?
Hello?
So that's just to get a tooth pulled, right?
I don't know.
I got all right, hold on
Imagine
real
Hello,
quick.
everybody.
children.
This is
All right,
Confidence in
all right,
Jacksonville.
all right, peace, brother. I don't know how to say all that, so I'm just gonna say
Can
confidence.
everybody hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, maybe I don't think he hears us, man.
Okay.
But go ahead and finish building on your point, African son.
Now, the point was that just we are being eased towards socialism in a way. You know what I mean? Because medicine is definitely socialized right now.
Right, all right, that's peace, brother. I want to get my brother Chavis in here. What's up, brother Chavis?
You can hear me?
Yup.
You can hear me? You can hear
Yeah,
me?
we hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Oh man. All I think, man, is we should use the blueprint for Black Power by Amos Wilson as our foundation, whatever we do. Everybody need to get that. And like that need to be like our Bible. You feel me? I think that'll help us understand how to move forward. You feel me? That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? I want to put that out there.
All
But
right. This what I want you to do, brother Chavis. Go ahead and just give us, for the people that don't know and the people that may come back and watch this, just give us a brief overview of that plan. You ain't got to go into detail. Just give us a
no,
brief overview.
I just got it. You know what I'm saying? I've been wanting it for a long time because I listened to his lectures and you know what I'm saying. And I got a lot of his other books. Just the way, like he specializes in psychology for us. You know what I'm saying? So everything in his books is tailored to like help us improve, and it also challenges us. You know what I'm saying? Because it exposes, you know what I'm saying, our flaws and where they come from. But
So what's the
I've been
name of this
wanting
book?
this, huh?
Can you say the name one more time?
With the book,
Right.
Blueprint for Black Power.
Okay.
It's like I got it for 41. I just got it. My wife got it for me. But I've been wanting this mug for a long time. Hold on, let me show you this.
Okay, yeah, I think I seen you had posted that on Facebook.
Yeah, man. I've been waiting a long. Hold on. Well, if you can't,
Yep.
it's Blueprint for Black Power, a moral, political, and economic imperative for the 20th century. I personally, I
Lord.
promote all this dude books, man. This dude, once you read one chapter of this dude work, you ain't gonna be able to just put that down. It's gonna continue to I love psychology, and I just love the way he, you know what I'm saying, just brings all the nuanced uh, issues out and actually comes out way. He recognizes them, and then he comes up with ways to how we could, you know, if he comes with solutions. This one from off the lecture, you'll see. Just go on YouTube and watch Amos Wilson lecture, man. You'll get a feel of why I say that need to his whole mind frame is how what the foundation that we need to build from, because it's designed to help us improve in all aspects. But you got to start with your mind first. We all got to get on, you know what I'm saying, on the same note. It's too much like counterproductive mentalities and behavior. These type of books address that shit. People gotta be able to take accountability, you know what I'm saying, just for they actions and not try to compete with one, like all that shit hold us back. Don't nobody else do that shit. We stay me and the ones bringing each other down. We don't let our dollar side, circulate. This addresses all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I wanted to put out there.
Yeah, brother Chavis. Peace and thanks for coming on here and sharing that, because that's a book I've heard of, but I hadn't seen nobody with it. I'm glad you got it.
It's kind of
I just
it's like hard to come by, man. That's why I'm so, you know what I'm saying, excited that I got it. You know, she got it for me because she know how bad I want it. But it's if we want to start dealing with, you know what I'm saying, politics and just understanding like how like just starting from the you know how you look in the book and you check out the chapters in the content. First chapter, what is power? And it just breaks down like the typology of power, force as power, coercion as power, influence as power, competent and legitimate authority as power, manipulation as power, summary of white domination and black subordination. Like, man, bro, like this shit is powerful. And if it was something that was in all of our homes, man, and like that shit will really like help us get on the same note and understand what like how the rest of the world like right now it's a bunch of unhealthy toxic shit within our own community that we enable. If we was to get that shit in check and get on note, we would not be in this. We'll be able to do most shit, but like we let our ideologies get in the way. We let like all kind of like you got hood niggas that they don't give it. They gonna serve their own people. They don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff that it's just heavy, man. That it's a lot of stuff that hold us back, and it's majority mentally shit, mental shit. That it's the start. If you don't get that together, you ain't gonna be able to do shit else. You feel me? But yeah, man.
yeah, I agree, man.
Appreciate you, family.
I agree 100%. I need to add that book to my collection. I just put it in my Amazon cart. Seems like I need to go ahead and check on out the way you talking.
Asar is the one who got me on uh Amos Wilson. I'm reading. I forgot what book I was reading. It was just a quote, and the quote made me like, man, let me go see what this dude. I watched a lecture, and I used to just sit around. I used to be working on the back of the garbage truck, just with my phone in my pocket, just listening to this nigga's lectures, and you're like, man, this nigga is really kicking like some real deal, like real life psychological shit that's going on, and we not even knowing. Like
Mm.
shit is it's real live heavy realities. That's why I fuck with them because that's type of shit I be on. I don't like dealing with fantasy. I live in reality, so I be trying to dwell in that realm. Like it's too much fictitious shit that facades and shit that just our people in general be putting they self in. They just it's something that like I say, if you get on Amos Wilson, just start from any lecture on YouTube and just you're gonna see what I'm saying. It's plain and simple. I can't say it no clear. Swear business.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. I just looked that book up too. I'm like, boy, that bad boy almost got 900 pages in it.
Boy, that boy, this boy thick. That boy thick, man. I ain't know it was that thick, but that's just how you know it's a quality work. You feel me? Just like with a sword work. That boy thick. Just like
Yeah,
his African time. And you probably got that, huh? That
Yeah, yeah,
African
you know I
time.
got that.
That joint fire too. That boy
Yeah,
thick.
that's one of my biggest books is that and that Bach.
I need to get really all of them. I'm just gonna take my time with them because I ain't even really read much of this African time. I just read like a couple pages just to get in there. But I'm finna read a page or at least a chapter or something of this Black Power every day. So you know what I'm saying. I get through it. I'm gonna read. I just read a chapter. I got to the second chapter. Spiritual spiritual combat. That joint fire. People need to
Yeah, let
get
me
on
ask
that. Like
you.
all them need to be in everybody's households too. So we ain't out here making ourselves look fool being pseudo. And then like I let my neighbor borrow it. She didn't like it's an older lady. She just reading like, man, this is good. Like it's gonna educate. It's gonna educate you and make you realize who you are. Like real talk, if you listening, hey, all three, grab all them boys' books. Square Ben, I stay supporting.
You
I
definitely do. I
appreciate
want to
y'all. Y'all
ask you.
need this.
I
What's
was gonna
that?
say I want to ask you a question, man, because I seen you was reading. And shout out Keenan Wright. I got all three myself. We appreciate that. I want to ask you. You was reading Kofi's chapter, right?
Huh?
That's the one you had posted on there
Yeah,
about the
that's Kofi chapter.
Freemasonry. Yeah. Talk a little
Yeah,
bit about what you
I
got
ain't
out of
got.
that chapter.
I just read the first couple pages, but it it basically explains from what I read. It's explaining what Freemasonry is. Out like I see it, we all see the lodges and like wherever you go, they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I see them like I think my papa probably was. I ain't never really just got into that, but I used to see it all around me. And some of the dudes was acting weird, but then other dudes was like on some real like productive on they shit type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never just been exposed to it or all I ever heard was people on the internet with they are part of the Illuminati and all going back with the history of it. But as far as the African American aspect of it, that's seems like where he's going, and then he's basically going into the secret societies. That's basically what the chapter is about is secret societies, and basically I think he's gonna go into what the purpose of them, what it is, and that's just like. But he talking about it from the Afro like I think he's gonna go into probably like the left society and whatnot. I know I didn't read some of that on my own, but like it, that people don't know like that shit is deep. You know what I'm saying? Some people just I don't think people are interested because they not really ready for to even like go on that level of deepness that like y'all be putting in the books, man. They scared of that shit. Like, but
Yeah, man. We definitely appreciate your support. appreciate you actually digging in the book because you know, a lot of people they'll get the book, but they'll let that bad boy sit. I
Mhm.
like that
Nah, man.
you opened it up, man.
Them be my first. Like when I get them joints, sometimes I can't put them down. Like I be trying to knock them out because y'all be steady shooting them out. Got to keep up. 'Cause
Yeah,
that it's really necessary, man. So y'all got that's why I love that shit because we have a resource to go. I don't gotta go look on the internet. All the sources is in there. Can't nobody talk down on y'all because y'all putting out scholarly work, man. Y'all citating all your work. You know what I'm saying? It's it's square business. It need to be like in everybody. If you are in the supposedly conscious community, that's supposed to be in your arsenal. So you're picking foolishness. We y'all we tearing that up. We not letting that we can't be having none of these misconceptions and like that shit get old. And it's crazy having to correct
now
that shit
that
all
was
the time.
now that book that's volume 3 you got, right? I know you got all 3 of them, but that was volume 3 you had busted open, right?
Right.
Okay,
Cause I already what?
I think I believe I'm chapter 4. I believe I come after Kofi in there. So I'm gonna be excited to see your perspective on my chapter, and what you
I'm gonna
think
post.
about
I
it.
be posting all y'all because y'all boys be going in, man. Like people don't. Y'all not. Y'all separating yourself from internet personalities, man. Cowboys is becoming scholars. Like that's how I'm viewing it because y'all. I make me want to start writing like all this shit nigga be researching and all like that shit was what needs to be done. Like instead of sitting around talking about it, man, I'm not gonna talk nigga write it. That's why I fool with Sean because he nigga put that on paper, bro. We ain't trying to be talking about opinions all the time. Well, what's the fact? What do we, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Are we speculating or is we trying to see what really happened and how it really was? I like his chapter, how he went in with the Mansa Musa. Like I didn't know none of that. All you hear about is just, all the myths and you don't get none of the real deal. Like boys need
Yeah,
to look into that. And that's first
yeah, that boy
chapter.
Sean.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
that boy Sean killed that chapter though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I'm saying like all y'all is evolving. Every book, like y'all getting the hang of that shit, man. That's what I love. That's why I got to keep up. Make sure you know what I'm saying. I'm on the. Make sure I'm saying nigga, man, I be nigga. Niggas is a internet part like a Facebook, bro. I be in real life and shit like. You around me talking crazy. Hey, you don't know nothing about this. Like with the vaccine. Like, nah, bro. I sat down and took the course. I'm contact person. And they like really it's an actual free college course. Like y'all, you need to do that before you get to speaking on how viruses work. And you need to learn something. Learn virology. I've been watching the 12s. I've been watching them since February. Cause that shit popped up on my algorithm. Like people be talking about nigga, my algorithm fire. I don't know what it is I be looking like. I don't know if you just hit a certain level with some shit, but my shit be kicking fire. And I just end up on that boy Vincent Ranciello and watched all them lectures. But that's getting off. I'm way out no, but back to them books though, man. The spirits of these volumes, man. You need to get all of them. Don't just try to get one. You need to get all of them. Read you a chapter. They ain't really all that long. Just read. I'd be like, I'm trying to read a chapter a day, and put some fat on my brain in all areas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. We appreciate it, man. And I
Yeah,
think this is the first time I done heard some real feedback from somebody who read it. What about you, Sutek?
yeah, I think so. Like
I
you
mean, I
said,
don't see people.
get the book and just let it sit there. So you know what I mean? Or they're like, we on volume 3. They'll have all 3 volumes, but they'll still be reading volume 1. Like, all right, man, you have to catch up now. Yeah, man.
Like Sutek should be hitting too. He beating boys up on anything West African kid. He on your head. He on your head with the Arabic. We not Muslims. We not, that ain't us. Like, he trying to let boys know. That's why I always source that nigga on anything dealing with. Hey, hold on. First off, nigga, go watch this video. Go check his boy sources, because he's solid on that. You're not really dealing with the West. You're not a Hebrew. Stop, cut that out. We been handled that. We handled that in the final what's they call it, the Hebrew makes back, he messed it up in there. Like, that
Yep.
boy, he got that shit. Now it's in a book. Now we don't gotta talk about it no more. We just, hey, go read this, bro. Read this, because I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. I'm gonna show it to you, and you could take it or leave it. This what it is. That's why I like them books. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let you get straight to the point. Then it's always teaching you something that you ain't know. Y'all boys be going deep into y'all subject matter, and it's all edifying. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't, if they talking down, like that's just some real live dry hater shit. Like, you got that book, you supposed to be in that.
Definitely.
I
All right, well,
appreciate
y'all
y'all
heard it
boys.
from the brother, man. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the brother Chavis, man. Go get them volumes. We don't want y'all to go get them and just to get them, man. Get them and bust them open and read them, man. Read a chapter a day, man. That's what I try to do anyway. Like I done got to where I got 3 books I'm reading now, and I bang a chapter out of this book, sit it down, wait a couple hours, let the shit I just read digest. Boom, I bust another book open, read it, so that's how y'all can do it. Y'all, you can read all 3 volumes at once. If you want, you just gotta break them down into chapters. Say, boom, I'm gonna read volume 1, chapter 1, then I'm gonna read volume 2, chapter 1, and you could do it like that, man, and you'll have them all read in a month. It's that easy, y'all. It's that easy. And these chapters, man, these books, man, they easy reads, man. They easy reads, like super easy, packed with
I
so
ain't
much
gonna lie though.
information.
I ain't gonna lie though. Vasa chapters be long.
Oh man,
I
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
damn. He be going in, and I was like, damn, that nigga going in. He put down everything. You ain't never heard none of that shit. And it should be deep. But I was like, boy, that boy shit long. But I love
Man,
them.
listen,
I love them chapters. Like I say, all y'all boy, I can see the growth in each book. Like, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm witnessing y'all mature as scholars, man, and that shit that's live. Just to be a part of that, like, to actually be able to, y'all know these niggas, bro. I'm trying to put on. You know what I'm saying? What's that shirt? What's that thing? Here, let me put you on. You right here posting stuff on Facebook, and you're not knowing, like, that's not a Hebrew, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the, like I said, y'all touch on everything from, like, comedic shit, from uh black history, like the 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 shit that y'all touch on just so vast, man. Like, boys sleep, man. You know, if you don't write that book, you sleep out here, bro. Square business. I'll leave it at that.
all right, that's peace, man. You got anything in closing, Sutek?
Nah, man. In closing, go to Family Connect. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat again. Go to FamilyConnectApparel.com. Pick up your Mossy Warrior Clan, your Kobe Pasi Research Team, your Invoker brand clothing, your Niger Valley Civilization. We got something for everybody, man. Also on KofiPasiTV.com. Get your copy. Like you heard our brother Chavis say, man, get your copy. Yep, there we go. We got the
Y'all
tea.
boys ain't gonna come out with no coffee, no coffee product, coffee and kush.
Yeah. We coming with the coffee and cookies. We coming with the coffee and cookies joint real soon, man. We just gotta create. We just gotta create a certain logo and put some shit together. But we coming up with that real soon, man. Yeah, coffee and cookies. We probably have like some little rolling trays or something. But yeah, then we got coffeepassport.tv.com. You know what I mean? You get your merch and get your books, your volume 1, 2, and 3, and we got children's books. You know what I'm saying? Pick something up. Shop with us. Show some love, man. Shop with us. That's all I have to say in close.
Yeah, and read it, man. And read it. Read the books. Read the books. Shout out to everybody that came through today, y'all. Y'all seen the website. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. And we out.
The likes to kick itself out. Hey, but yeah, man, I'm gonna close it out. Okay, there you go.
I pressed the wrong button.